And we are headed out. Fort Smith, here we come. Way station, here we come. So last night, man, I had to drive over my time last night to find a place to park. Went into the red, and I don't normally do that. And I'll talk to you later about, you know, what happens if you go in the red and what you should do and all that stuff. I'll talk to you later about that. So I get parked, and it's late. It's like 9:20. Did almost 600 miles yesterday, plus, you know, a drop off and a pickup. And a fiasco waiting, trying to find, you know, what load I'm supposed to have, right? And so it was like 9:20 when I stopped. And I get back there and I start processing the video that's gonna air tonight, hopefully. I get about halfway done with the video, and my computer, the program, decides it wants to screw around with me and not work. And so I shut it down, and I did that 3 more times. 3 more times. 4 times in total that it did that on me. And after the last time, I just said, screw it, I'm not messing with it anymore. I'm tired. It was like 11 o'clock. Like, I am going to bed. It's closed, all right. I believe this one down here is closed most of the time on this side of the road. That side of the road, they nail you every time. But anyway, so I go to sleep, and at about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, maybe a little earlier, it starts to storm and wakes me up. I mean, it was loud. Thunder and lightning. Everything was bright, even with my curtains shut. Loud. It sounded like somebody hitting my truck. Got up and looked around a little bit. Nobody was hitting my truck, so I'm like, okay, going back to sleep. Just a little rain. Nobody cares. Horrible. That's all right, I'm awake. Let's get on down the road. Let's go. Well, the casino hotel is going up pretty good. This was just a skeleton when I started working, when I started driving this way. Not much of a skeleton either. They've done quite a bit of work over a year and a half, especially with the pandemic. They had to shut down and all that stuff. They had to build the roads and all that stuff to it, everything. I'll be glad when they get it done. This is probably the best road in Oklahoma. Wow, it has gotten dark. Lights on. They're on. So I have determined that just about every state has a Bigfoot legend. Every state I go into, there's an area where everything is about Bigfoot. Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, all of them. Any of you guys ever seen Bigfoot? I've not seen Bigfoot. Arkansas does a little different. We have the legend of the Fouke monster, which is a Bigfoot-like monster down in the left bottom corner of our state, down there by Louisiana. But Yeah, you can look that up. There's a movie about the Fouke monster back in the 70s. So if any of you guys seen Bigfoot, or like I like to call him, Chewbacca? No? Leave a comment down below. It is still raining. Thank God for a rain jacket. Whew, man, invest in a good rain jacket. That's my advice to you. That's for dang sure. So I'm waiting on, there's another truck here getting unloaded. They're unloading bricks. You got a little bitty stack of bricks. I've already got the tarps and everything off. Straps are off. It's ready to go. I don't have to get back out in the rain. I was really hoping that the rain would not follow me into Fort Smith, but it sure did. Lord. Well, while I'm waiting on him, let's talk about going into the red. So what happens if you can't find a place to park and you have to drive over your time? Well, as far as DOT is concerned, you need to notate it on your logs on why you drove over your time. Okay, you don't want, realistically, you don't want to drive over your time, and I try not to. Yesterday was just I was too far away from the end of my day to stop before Dallas, and then after I got through Dallas, there wasn't any parking. I had to find a place to park, so I had to drive over my time. So you want to notate it on your logs why you drove over your time. You know, couldn't find a place to park is always a good one, or traffic or whatever. But you want to find the rules is you're supposed to find the first place that you can park. That's where you're supposed to park if you're driving over your time. And that's what I did last night. First place I could find that didn't have that I could make a spot was the rest area over the border in Oklahoma. So I drove about 20 minutes, I guess, over my time. And what Maverick wants you to do is they want you to, number one, notate it, and then number two, give Extended a call or your fleet manager if they're not gone yet, and let them know that you drove over your time. They'll put you on a list. That way, if there's any questions with regulatory or whatever, they've got it notated, and then it'll cost you safety points. Okay, so it's going to cost you 20 safety points if you don't call in. It's only going to cost you 10 if you do call in. But you're allowed 100 safety points before they start taking PFP points away from you. All right, so you know, if it's an accident, that's an automatic two PFP points on your safety, and that's just because it's a severe thing. But running over your time, that kind of stuff, log violations, that kind of things, they don't cost you too much in points. So they don't usually, if you don't do it a whole lot, then it's not going to hit your PFP, your bonus points. That's why I don't try to run into my last hour. My last hour is for finding a place to park, but yesterday that just wasn't feasible. So there you go. You know, just a safety thing, and don't sweat it if it happens. Just make a call and let them know, and everything will be all right. We're gonna get unloaded here in a minute. I still haven't seen that other Maverick driver. She said he hasn't shown up yet, so he's around somewhere. So we're here at Maverick. They've got me going to Michigan. I have to pick up a load here at the Maverick yard, 5 pieces, and then I've got to go over to the Gerdau yard across the street and pick up some pieces. And that appointment, so this is an open window here at Maverick from 1 to 4. But my pickup over across the street isn't until 5 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock right now. I don't know why they can't make that stuff closer. Whatever. I'll just go off the clock once I get this done. And it's all got to be tarped. So it's probably all shiny bar, which takes longer. I won't be leaving tonight. I guess I've driven as much as I'm going to drive today. There's just no point, right? I'm going to have... Well, by the time I get loaded and everything, I might have an hour of drive time left. Maybe. Because I'm going to sit, and that's going to cut into my drive time, and I don't see me going anywhere. Just don't. Oh well. We'll figure it out. But going to Michigan for Thursday, I probably won't be home until Saturday. More than likely. Guess I get to call the wife. So whatever.